Hello everybody. Right, let's unmute these guys. Get them back in the room.
We're still not live. We're not live yet, are we?
You're such winding me up, aren't you?
No, we're not live yet.
Yeah, we are. Look.
Oh, we're live. Are we live?
Idiot.
Oh, that's a bit embarrassing.
Please do not
That's a bit
swear.
embarrassing.
Please do not swear, ladies and gents.
Please, okay. Are we? We are live.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, the problem is, it's because I've got it in front of me here. There's a bit of a delay, and I didn't realise we'd gone live. Okay. Hello, everyone.
How are we doing, everyone? Oh, I can't believe so many people actually turned up.
Yeah, loads of awesome people in the chat, so that's good to see. Hopefully I've said hello to everybody. I'll just drop a little hello here as well. Thanks for joining.
Well, I can't see who is in. So who we got?
We've got Rayto, we've got a guy called Dan Runs, we've got John, we've got Chris, we've got Mark Davidson, Bradley's there. Who else we got? I think that's it. Did I get everyone?
Oh, apparently no audio.
No audio. Should be fine.
Oh, it looks like I think we're lip syncing. Are we lip syncing? Hard to know. Hard to know. I should put it down here, shouldn't I? Because I'm looking up at the screen.
Oh, no worries, apparently. No, we're all good.
We're all good. Okay. Rock and roll.
Yes. Nice. So anyway, how are you, lads?
We're
enjoying lockdown, everyone?
Yeah, still at work, so enjoying lockdown a lot. Just keeping busy, keeping safe, keeping happy.
Chris, what about you, mate?
Few dogs. It's still a bit of an injury, so not really doing a great deal.
Sitting at home with your slippers, yeah? Pipe and slippers.
Oh, don't know.
Yeah.
No, you know, we're walking cane out.
Yeah, running cane. Very good. Right. So I wanted to start basically just by asking you guys a bit of a question. So we'll start off with you first, Dan. So the thing I wanted to ask was, being a vegan, if someone isn't a vegan and wanted to try some vegan foods, what would be your go-to thing to try?
Okay, good question. Yes, it's really good nowadays. I've been vegan for nearly 5 years, and there's so many more products on the market, so you can just find simply the alternatives. So 3 really simple ones. Pesto pasta, really simple, quick kind of student type meal. The second one, mushroom risotto, again, pretty basic. You're just going to probably put some vegan butter in there or vegan cream alternative. And an even simpler one, sausage casserole. You just buy the Coleman's mix, which is vegan, a couple of vegan sausages, cook them up, put the mix in, straight into the oven for an hour, and then, sure enough, vegan casserole, job done. So
Bosh.
3 quick go-tos. And that's kind of, I suppose, middle ground for healthy as well. Obviously, you want to get some veggies in there also, but basic, quick, easy meals for the family. They're my 3 go-tos.
Lovely.
So does Greg support that? Because obviously you're sponsored by Greg and stuff.
Yes, good point. Greg's vegan steak bake and Greg's vegan sausage rolls. Yes, currently chasing the endorsement down for Greg's, and HQ have been overwhelmed with my fan letters. So thank you for everybody in the chat who's been sending those in, because yeah, I mean, Greg himself actually has been in contact to say just calm it down, calm it down.
Right, yeah, they can't keep up with the supply for the vegan sausage rolls.
No, absolutely not.
I think I've only ever been into a Greg's once, and they've had them in. They've always said we've sold out.
I've never been in a Greg's.
Shut up.
Never.
What, in all your 70 years on this planet, you've never been into a Greg's?
It wasn't open, was it, when I was your age?
During the war. That's good, Dan. That's good. Thanks for that. Chris, what about you being the old fish only, or whatever it is you're on, pescatarian, or however you pronounce it?
What's that?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
I don't find it that bad. Yeah, I only used to eat kind of chicken anyway. But it was only giving up on chicken, and there's a lot of alternatives out there now anyway, for the likes of corn and a lot of the supermarkets and that getting on board. So I don't really see it much as a problem. And to be honest, the alternatives don't actually taste that bad.
Nice. So fish and chips is your go-to though, yeah, on a Friday night?
No, not necessarily. Well, a while. I should have a running diet, but I haven't. I just literally eat anything.
Yeah, but that's what a lot of people do, don't they? They run to be able to eat what they want to.
Well, basically, yeah, I think tonight I had cake and ice cream for dessert. That was nice.
Cake and ice cream?
Yeah.
Crikey.
And to finish off, I think I had a bar of chocolate.
And what did you actually have for dinner?
What did I have for dinner? I'm trying to think what I had for dinner.
Old age?
Yeah, it was a liquidised meal.
Yeah, soup.
I think it was spaghetti bolognese tonight. So.
Lovely. Did you rustle that up, or was it Mrs. Running Guy?
My daughter did it tonight. So.
Nice. That running girl.
That running girl.
Excellent stuff. Wow. Cake and ice cream will cure what out. That's can't disagree with that.
Nice way.
Yes, indeed, Matt. Excellent. Katie, sounds like your diet. Yeah, we know. Chocolate 24/7. Anyway, right. What do we want to do now? Do you want to crack on with some of these questions that we've
should we dive in? First of all, obviously, if you're in the chat at the moment, subscribe to the other people in the chat. Everyone's got a really good channel, and obviously good opportunity to just kind of network with people, and you might make a connection that you hadn't made before. And I can see that Graham's jumped in with an early question, which is similar to another question that we had, so it's probably quite a good one to start with. And that's, how do you get yourself motivated for a run on the days that you have no motivation? I think with the winter drawing in, especially in this country, it becomes a little bit trickier to get out the door.
It's tough, but it's got to be done. My motivation is I like to listen to music, so it gives me a chance. That's what gets me out of the door.
I would say my motivation is probably down at the moment to keep me motivated. Long-term goal, I want to run for England as a Masters runner, but at the moment, nothing to train for. So all I'm doing is just putting stuff out there on YouTube, like training plans for 10k, and that just gets me out the door training. And then you're accountable. You've got to have a goal. If you haven't got a goal, you're not going to get out the door.
Yeah, I agree. I think for me, I'm always thinking about the future. I'm thinking about, especially if it's race day, do I want to wake up race day and feel like I should have done more and could have done more? I'm not talking about if you're injured, but just those days where you think, I won't bother tonight. It's really easy for those days to accumulate, and before you know it's the weekend and you haven't run for 5 or 6 days, and ultimately the goal time gets closer and closer, and then you find yourself wake up in the morning feeling like you're not prepared. So for me, I just think about the future, think about what I want to achieve, and if you're not motivated by that, then I wouldn't go out and do it if you weren't motivated, because you're not going to achieve a lot. You're going to be miserable during the experience. I enjoy running, so I go out and I focus on also a bit of headspace for myself.
Yeah, I think enjoyment is key. I think also putting together a plan for that week. And just put it out there, tell someone else about it, and then kind of make yourself accountable. Or just become a YouTuber.
Yeah. Had to hang around with some lovely people.
Record your daily videos, and then you are accountable, because otherwise people got nothing to look at. So you have to go out the door and you have to create a video. So
not just letting yourself down.
Yeah, you let down everybody who follows you, including your family.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
That's how you stay motivated. So yeah, that's a tricky one. But I think, especially in the winter, get all your running gear as well by the door. Especially like for me, coming from work, if it's by the door, I don't think twice about it. Get changed, turn around, head out. If you come in, get comfortable, put the heating on, it's game over. I think it's much harder to walk away at that stage. So get yourself prepared in advance.
I just go to bed wearing it.
And when he's not running, he's wearing a dressing gown, and then he just whips it off, runs out.
What about that hat then as well? Always have a merchandise hat.
Always be prepared to self-merchandise.
Okay, we've got another question. I'm going to go because we got all the questions together. We put them down
Hi,
here, so I'm
Susie.
going to just race through them. And yeah, hey Susie.
And
So Mark has 3 questions. I'm going to go with his first question, and it's thoughts on fasted running in the morning. So he's been going out for his Saturday morning long runs, and just has a drink of water before he sets off, and he's been achieving sort of 15k before he really feels that maybe he should have something else. What do we think about fasted running? Is it something that either of you have done or do?
I've never done it. Literally wake up in the morning, I have to have a coffee and have to eat. It's as simple as that. Get up, brush my teeth, have coffee, have something to eat. It might even just be a small bowl of cereal, but I can go out 30 minutes after I've eaten, as long as it's not too heavy. If I have dinner, it's got to be about an hour and a half. But there's no way I'm getting up in the morning and not eating. I just couldn't do it. So be fasted running wouldn't work.
I'll do it every time I go out, pretty much, for a long run on a Sunday or a Saturday. Like, I don't eat anything.
You're up at night time. You're up.
Yeah, well, I'm nocturnal, aren't I? So, yeah, I don't think I've eaten breakfast once before I've been out for a long run.
Kebab before you go out.
Do I what?
Kebab.
Kebab. Yeah, no, I have that the night before, so I don't need to eat in the morning. I'm fully stocked, ready to go. I'll burn that fat.
I've made a bit of a transition because I used to always, before a long run, get up hour and a half before I went out, had some porridge, all of those sorts of things. But I found that when I was training recently for my ultra, that my long runs, I was just kind of getting up, because I was getting up a lot earlier, I just didn't feel like I wanted to eat, and to get up at 4:30 for a 6 o'clock run wasn't working for me. And I was finding that I could sort of go half an hour and then sort of snack, which was good anyway for my ultra training, but I was sort of stopping altogether the eating before my long runs. Although on the ultra day, shouldn't change on race day, I did actually have some porridge, which is clearly the reason why I didn't win. But you live and learn.
It's all down to the porridge.
I think basically with fasted runs, you've got to see what works for you. It's going to work for some people, it's not going to work for others. I would always just say, if you're going to try it, do it on a obviously shorter distance, so you're not too far from home, or have a backup plan, because if it goes a bit wrong and you're out there with no drink and no nutrition, you're going to set yourself up for a bit of a nasty incident, and nobody wants that.
Yeah, sounds like John and Susie are the same with the old fasting. They like to travel light, as I would say.
Yeah, you don't
less in the belly and more on your back.
Don't want to be stopping for a wild wee or a poo out on the run, do you? Especially if you're going residential. It's never good.
Or with the group.
Or with a group who are filming for YouTube.
Yeah.
You don't want to give it a Paula Radcliffe under the tunnel.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got Hella Good, the man in the chat, has run for so many consecutive days. He's an absolute machine, and Gymshark sponsored athlete. If you want some tips on improving your mobility, flexibility, and all that good stuff, then you should definitely check his channel out. And he's absolutely crushing it. Did a fantastic 59 miles or something in one day. Sorry if that's slightly off, but he's just absolutely destroying it over on YouTube. So a big hello to him over in the US of A.
That sounds hella good.
Yeah, he's awesome. And if you are somebody on Instagram, type in hella good into the little gift box, so you can get all of his Run 365s and little icons as well.
Chris, there's a question for you here, mate. It says, from Sean, it says, how many times should you run per week, and what sort of distance? I guess if you're starting training.
I'd probably start with every other day, maybe. It depends how new you are to running. If you're very new to running, probably once every couple of days. But if you're, newish, I'd probably say every other day, and probably just start off with a 2 miler and then just work your way up. But you only want to be increasing 10% per week, so you don't get an injury. But everyone's different. I literally went from 30, 50 miles, and I didn't pick up an injury. But it's each to your own.
Yeah.
So I would say probably every other day. Maybe start off with 2 miles, see how you get on. Maybe move that up to 5k. 10 miles a week, and maybe move that up to 12 the next week. But it's difficult to say. It all depends on the person. Obviously, I don't know his background and stuff.
Yeah, there we go. Words from the wise old man Gandalf there.
And quick one: who has the biggest feet? Which obviously is a good link to who has the biggest socks as well.
Oh, we know it's not Ben. He's got kids' feet. Well, size 5.
8.5, mate.
I'm a size 12, so.
Christ, are you not? Are you?
Yeah.
No.
Oh yeah.
No. I don't believe you.
Well, I'm 10.5 wide, so that puts me in the middle. So there we go. There's the answer. Hopefully, Mark, that was informative for you.
If you want to buy me some shoes, 8.5, please.
Length or thickness?
So, another Mark Davidson's got a question talking about adapting from my 10k plan at the moment to 50k in a few days and altering the circumstances, and just talking about how we're going to approach, Ben, this virtual ultra that we've got kind of coming up. He did ask about my potatoes and will they stay in the bag. If you watch my ultra race, my potatoes were a real catastrophe on the day, so we will not be taking any potato goods with us. We may get some chips when we arrive at the midway point, but in terms of what kind of I'm going to be doing and experience wise, I think we've agreed amongst ourselves that we're just going to enjoy the experience, and there's no time constraints for us and no real focus on pace. We just want to get there and back safely and just have a really good time. And so for me, really, it's a transition of sorts. I know for Ben, it's going to be a big day for him. So I'm looking forward to supporting him on his journey. I don't know how you feel about it, Ben, and what your sort of thoughts are leading up to it.
No, I'd say pretty much the same as you. The only thing you were saying about the no time constraints, I know Katie's watching this and she's probably thinking, you're not going to be out all day doing a run for 12 hours. No, it's not happening, mate. So we need to sort of set some boundaries. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know what you had in mind, like as a rough ballpark figure, but 24 hours isn't really. No.
I think it's good to inform everybody watching that what we're doing with the run, it's not a flat course. There is some elevation throughout. So it's an out and back as well. So whilst we're taking some elevation going out, we're going to have some, obviously, the downward fun on the way home also. So I guess we'll be able to know when we get to the halfway point, 50k or so. I imagine about 6 hours-ish, as a rough guide. Yep. But it does depend, conditions on the day, how we're feeling. Sometimes you just have a really good day and things go well. So fingers crossed for us. And what about you then, Chris? Have you thought about going longer? I'm talking about running now.
No, I'm about my feet. But considering the longest I've ever run is 15 miles, and, I've entered into London Marathon, so it's just a question of waiting for the ballot to come through. But if I'm going to do a marathon, it's got to be London. So if I don't get in London, then I won't do any upper marathon.
You could do a bigger city like Brighton or Manchester, or.
I think I can do the first one for me. It's got Brighton. My dad used to do it. You wake up on that Sunday when the London Marathon's on. It's just that whole experience. For me, London's the one. So and it would be under 3 hours as well. So I'm going to do my first one.
Easy. You got that
but
easy.
47 then.
Yeah. Wow. That's good. You can actually probably answer this question as well. You're talking about sub 3. Terry's got a question in the chat about how to get under 140 for the half marathon. I don't know if you have any particular sort of quick tips you might give him. He did a 142. So in terms of just knocking those few minutes off.
Come down to pacing, even pacing. That's probably what it's going to come down to. Obviously, if you're doing a half marathon, you're probably going to be up to probably 50 miles a week, just low intensity stuff. You can throw in a little bit of tempo work here and there, just get your legs turning over to the kind of goal pace. But I would say pacing is key. A lot of people go off too fast, go off too slow. If you run even miles, or whether you're going to do a nick or two split. But when I paced Chris from here, we are running to a sub 140. We're not running a 138. because we negative split. But we kept the pace.
You smashed it out. The run was quality.
In the last probably 6 miles, he just drafted me. So he found it easier to actually follow someone rather than me running by the side of him, filming, camera in the air, running with the camera behind me. Probably a bit
dancing around.
When you're PB and you've got something on the camera.
So that first couple of kilometres, you went out at race pace, or you built into it?
Chris actually preferred when he done it. He preferred to go off a bit slower, but he knew that we had to make up later on. So we had to negative split. Some people prefer to go off the first K a little bit slower, but obviously you need to know what pacing. He had an app on his watch that gave him the actual goal pace, so he knew roughly what sort of pace. But I was using my watch and just pacing every mile, so I was just logging, with 10 seconds behind on this mile, or 20 seconds behind. We need to catch this up. So I was just, and then the last few miles, I was actually going faster than I was meant to go, but not telling him, because I think it's a mental game as well.
Yeah.
You sometimes when you're running faster than you can, it kind of is a bit off-putting. And mentally, I think a lot of races in the middle, it's a mental game. If you pass that the middle part mentally, then the last bit you can continue. But I would say even pacing is probably the way to go, and consistent higher mileage. So I don't know what mileage is that, but you probably wouldn't be about 50 miles a week.
Oh, well, Terry says thank you for that information. He's actually local. He's based in Woking. So yeah, if Terry, I would reach out to Chris if you've got any more questions. He is the person to speak to. I've not really gone beneath the 140 either, so I'm not the person to ask.
For Woking AC, so I go to work quite a lot when the track's open. They've got a good club there down in the new sports centre. If he's looking to join a club, say the community is the best way to go.
And he's not on commission, by the way. He's down there with his little market stall giving out caps.
Yeah, I need to Nike for. So I only wear Nike. So Nike out there, if you want to sponsor me.
Yeah. Nice.
We're all live streaming tonight in the hope we'll get sponsored by anybody who's watching, please. Of course. Okay, cool. Now another question: how do you know when you've had a good run? Which seems like quite an obvious question, but for me, the other day I went out for my long run. The day I didn't have a watch on or anything, and I got home and I'd been just over 2 hours, and it was just one of those amazing days. Things just fell into place. I don't know what pace I was going at. It just felt good. Is there anything that makes you kind of in your head walk in the door and think, yeah, that was exactly how I want running to be for me?
Well, I'm quite critical myself, so I'm, you probably see on the videos. If I'm happy, I'm happy. If I'm not happy, I show it on the videos. So, for me, I think sometimes going out without a watch on is going to be a happy run. It's going out in the woods, running just because you enjoy running, you love running, and remember why you are running. So that would be classed as a good run. Or if you set a specific target, you're doing some mile reps and you hit them, or you're quicker than them, then I would go back and consider that a good run. But there again, you just don't know when you go out. Sometimes you go out to go on an easy run, you look at your watch, you're ticking the miles are ticking away a lot quicker than what you anticipated, and you put the hammer down. But then another day you go out for a session and you feel absolute rubbish. So I'm not sure how to answer that question, other than, what does it come down to? Enjoyment, or does it come down to have you achieved the goals that you had in mind? That's my answer. I don't know what
nice.
Ben's yours. Is it getting back?
Getting back outside in the dark again. For me, it's, I guess, the adventure is more than. I guess it's the complete opposite end of the scale to you, Chris. Really, it's more about the journey than actually like times or anything like that. It's about getting out, exploring my local area, and finding those gems. Those places where you never knew existed. Just finding it on your own. I think it's great. That's why I enjoy running most. It's just the adventure, the journey, and the added bonus is it keeps me fit, and I get to meet great people like you guys. So everyone's a winner.
But that's a good thing about it. You explore locally and you find things you would never have found, either because you get lost, or you're following a GPX file, or you look at somebody else's Strava, And I found places that I didn't know existed at all on my doorstep, just because I didn't know they were that accessible to me, either driving past in the car, or even when you're walking. You don't necessarily have the same confidence to go into a field to get through the other side of it, because walking obviously takes a little bit longer, and you don't necessarily have the, I don't know, same feeling of excitement about entering somewhere new when you're on foot like that. But yeah, it's been great just to get out the door. And I know that when we went for our group run, just to go out there and throughout the run just say, we're going to go left or right, how do you want to play this? Just enjoyable, really, really enjoyable thing to do.
Can't beat it. But if you do get good times, it's also very good as well. So I will agree with you, Chris. Like, when you come in and you see you got a PR or a PB, it is nice, but it's not the reason why I go out.
It's not, you're right. And actually, this is a little question, because we did film on our run, and Chris was there helping and things like that. And it's the question here from, we know him as CL Furlong over on the YouTube. He should be joining us at some point in the chat. Absolutely. He's been doing some amazing things over on YouTube. But it's advice that you would give to other YouTubers. And I think I just want to dive in and just kind of set my stall on this one. My YouTube account was created primarily for me to look back on in the future with my family, what have you. I never anticipated I would get a single follower or that people watched, because that wasn't my intention. So when I set my YouTube channel up, it was just to record each day and document my journey, with the intention that when I did my marathon, my first marathon, Brighton, I would then kind of reveal, hey, I've got a YouTube channel if you want to watch my journey. I didn't think my running journey would continue past that necessarily. So that was my kind of the place that I started. So when people say to me, oh, what advice would you give me on YouTube? Basically, be entirely yourself 100%, and don't try to copycat anybody else, because there's always going to be somebody with better materials, better equipment, better filming style. You have to be you. My first videos were like this. Anybody who watched from the early days will know they're all like this.
That's a great angle.
Filmed on like a phone that kept doing this all the time. My Brighton Marathon filmed on an iPhone. So my advice to anybody on YouTube, if you've started, keep doing what you're doing. If you haven't started yet, film yourself, because it's really exciting to look back on your own footage from the start and just think, first of all, what do I look like? But secondly, hey, that was me, and that was how I felt at the time, and they were my personal feelings. So as long as you're authentic, I think you're onto a winner.
Right. So I started my YouTube channel. Mine was started probably about 5 years ago. It was a car-based channel. I used to go to the Goodwood Festival Speed, film cars, and then it got into fixing cars. I would fix stuff, and way back when you was monetized below 1,000 subscribers, I was uploading these videos. I was earning money, probably about 600 quid a year just for uploading me fixing stuff. So for me back then, it was more I was uploading to earn money. And then the rules kind of changed because someone showed a dead body in the woods, and then you kind of changed. You had to have over 1,000 subscribers. So May this year, I changed it over to a running channel, and within 6 months, I've gained another 2,000 subscribers. So for me, it's one is what Dan said, is to be yourself, and two is to do something that you're passionate about, because passion shows through. I think when you're passionate about something, that it just comes across as authentic. It comes, be honest. If you're having a bad day, tell people. If you're having a good day, tell people. I think as long as you're kind of passionate about what you do, it will come across on camera. When we all start, we're all a bit nervous. We're kind of, it is difficult when you're talking to camera. You're holding the camera up, you see someone come in, you hide the camera. But when you've been doing it for a little while, you become more comfortable. I'm still quite new. We've only been doing it for, 6 months, this kind of YouTube, and, holding up a camera and stuff. But I only started it because I was watching the likes of Kafuzi, Ben Parks, Seth James Demore, and thought, I could do that. I've got some experience. So I just uploaded a video, and I started gain momentum, get followers. Advice-wise, just be consistent, uploading regularly. Don't stress over the numbers. Don't stress over the subscribers. They will come over time. You just need to keep on uploading. You will progress as you've been doing it for some time, because you watch other videos, and when I look back at my other videos, your cinematography is better as you go along, because you just learn. You know, you watch other people, and I look at Kafuzi stuff, and I think that's kind of next level. But I'm not going to fork out for a 360 camera.
Why not?
So I think it's right. It's about using the stuff you've got and making the best of it, and also enjoying it. If you don't enjoy it, then don't bother. Now, if you're doing it for money, fair enough. If you want to do it just for the money, then you're not going to earn much money. You know, I've got 3,000 subscribers. I'm earning $70 a month. So, you know, for me doing 3-4 videos, I'm not earning much money. Yes, when you get to 10,000, you start selling merch, and you probably will be earning, you know, a reasonable money, and I'm going to live with it. Keep on going. Oh, it's a nice cap, and you can sell merch, and then you get mugs to buy it for some reason. And don't try and be someone else. You know, I tried to be Ben Parks for a little while. It didn't work.
Oh, I thought you were. That's why I started following you. Oh, let down.
I just the old one. Yeah.
It's Ben Parks' granddad. He's on YouTube.
Older, but I dye in this white because I think because I'm older, people might trust me more.
He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, but don't tell anyone that.
Look at him. He's had a tough paper round, hasn't he? Crikey. No, I think.
What's your advice?
Well, I think you pretty much stolen my thunder there. I was listening to you talking about watching Kafuzi and that, and just watching how they film their runs and stuff, and that's what got me into it. And then I found you guys, but that's the reason why. Like, obviously, I'm very, very new compared to you two, to YouTube. So talking to the cameras is not my strong suit at all. So that's why there's a lot of music, a lot of slow motion, you know, that kind of stuff. Pardon?
And you've got to come up with that special move. I know Dan's been trying a few lately.
Oh,
Shoulder,
yeah.
butt shots.
The shoulder and the butt shot. Yeah, you can't beat those. Don't worry, I'll think of something.
You were doing the Kafuzi shot quite a lot, Ben.
Yeah. The wide sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't beat those. They're the special moves.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, you've just got to be yourself, haven't you? Because the thing is, if you start trying to create videos like others, you're going to be setting yourself up for hours in front of an editing suite if you haven't got that natural ability to begin with. And to be perfectly honest with you, there are better things you can be doing with your time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's good with your age, mate. Easy to use, isn't it? And they're overpriced as they are, to be fair. Oh, hang on. No, go on. No, I haven't. I swear I haven't. I might have knocked something.
Hello?
You should be alright now. You should be alright. You should be fine. It was me.
Yeah.
Yeah. When it catches up, they'll get back to it. That's fine.
Can you give us text? Because I can't see the text if we've got our audio.
Some people had said my audio was not there. Is it there now? It is not working.
No,
Dan and Chris audio not working.
It will be there.
Come on here.
And mute you.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Wait for it.
I've been talking all this time and you just did it.
It'll be alright.
So,
We're back.
See.
We're back. So,
We're back
for anybody who missed that was the critical piece of information that will transform your life. It's one of those things that I don't share it very often. So, I mean, I'm so glad you're here for that because, like I said, I'm kind of bound to this once in a lifetime thing. I just thought I'd share it tonight. But cheers anyway, guys, and see you soon.
Thanks for popping in, Dan.
That's okay.
Right, what's the next question we got?
Next question. So, from John. John's Conscious Life, absolutely amazing guy. How long have you been running? This is for you two. And what got you started?
Okay, I started running when I was 10. My dad was a marathon runner, club runner. He went to the QE2 fun run when I was 10. And I think it was about a mile, and I ended up winning it. So for a kid, that was my starting point. It kind of got me into running. My inspiration was my dad, but I gave up again at 17 and then started again probably July 2018. I've been running for a couple of years now. So, does that answer your question? Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently my audio has gone.
No,
but
it
maybe
hasn't.
Because I wasn't talking. I wasn't talking.
You haven't gone anywhere. I haven't. Look, I've got my hands here. Look, I haven't touched any buttons. It's not me this time. Anyway, was it same question for me?
Same question for you.
So yeah, well, I started running when I was younger as well. My dad was heavy into triathlons when I was like a teenager. So when I was at secondary school, he'd always take me out for his club events at Phoenix Tri in the Guildford area. They're like Surrey-based running triathlon club. So I'd go and do a couple of their events like at the Lido and stuff. They would do duathlons around Stoke Park and stuff, Dan, so you know that area. So I'd do that when I was younger, and then sort of, just gave it up throughout my later teens, went out, it's party time, woohoo! So no time for running. And then little man Zachary came along, and I thought, right, now it's time to get back into shape. So the trainers came out, and that's when I started running. So that was probably about just before he was born, so nearly 3 years ago now. Yeah, just over 3 years, I think. Yeah, because he's coming up to 3, so yeah, 3.5 years ago.
When did you start?
When did I start? So I started the day of my first video on YouTube. So I think it's first week in April 2018. So whichever the date of my first upload was the day I started running.
There we go.
Oh, Mark's done you there in the comments, mate.
Oh, wow. Mark has said Chris started running when he did the first ever marathon in Greece.
Oh, Mark, you've just earned yourself a gold star.
Moderator.
Yeah,
moderator.
I've got the flame, the thing I held. Though, from running with no shoes on.
Oh dear.
Size 12 sandals.
When this question came in, this other question from John, we did joke around about it. So I said, if not running, which other sport would I focus on? So in no particular order, burlesque, pole, river, forms of dancing, and if I have to pick one which is clothed, badminton probably.
You do look player.
Yeah, I used to do it every Saturday for a couple of years, and then I just stopped doing it. I don't know the reason why. Say it again.
You used to pull your white socks up.
Yeah.
Yes, just over my shuttlecock actually, and so that used to be my Saturday thing that I did. But that's the only sport I got involved with, and like I said, until I did running, I really wasn't doing anything else. So I'd probably give that another go. It's quite a fun sport and quite good for just getting that heart rate up as well, and not as difficult as tennis.
I used to play football, but I was only good at crossing it and running, and that was it.
Just kicking it really far and running.
I could run really fast and keep on running. I can cross it, but I can't do the tackling and the kind of going past people. So it used to be kick it and just run after it.
Yeah, when rugby. I was... Yeah, rugby's a good one. When I was at school doing football...
Forrest Gump.
Who was that?
Yeah.
Forrest Gump.
That's what I was called. Go on, Forrest. Go on, Forrest.
And you were pleased with that connection, where you thought it was to do with the running?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, but no, I just want some barbecue shrimp.
Yeah.
Oh dear, 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 dear.
Oh,
Quick fire questions from Here We Are Running, Chris. Oh, hello, Laura. Laura's entered the chat.
hello,
Quick
Laura.
fire questions from Here We Are Running. Do you prefer pavement or trails?
Pavement.
I don't know. Trails.
Yeah.
I'm going trails, but not at night. Trails in daylight. Favorite type of speed workout?
1K repeats.
Ooh.
Oh yes, on the track.
I don't really do speed. You've seen me run. I don't do speed.
Yeah, you're quicker than you say. You're quicker than you say.
You barely do running, mate.
Shut up. I don't know. I quite enjoyed the hills the other day when I was ill. That was quite good. So I guess yeah, when I wasn't very well and I filmed that video. Ill hills. The hills when you're ill. That's what I prefer. That's my speed workout.
Was that up after?
Newlands Corner, yeah. Pretty much the same sort of.
If anyone knows the area, it's just horrendous. The hills are horrendous, and on one part on St Marcus Hill, they put sand down as well.
It's a real treat. It's a real treat.
Real treat,
It is.
Isn't it?
It is.
The Travelator in Gladiators. That's what it is.
Actually, I have a story. I tried out for Gladiators when I was younger.
I thought you were in it. I thought you were Wolf.
This is the truth, right? So basically you had to do 10 pull-ups, right? So I done 10 pull-ups, quite easy. I think I was early 20s. And then you had to do under 230 on the treadmill. And I run, I think on the treadmill, I was chatting up the girl who was next to me, and I think I run a 210 on the treadmill. And then I think I got knocked out on the it's gone a beam, and then there was some big guy just whacked me with the massive pole and just broke me. That's exclusive.
Wow, there we go.
Sorry, he whacked you with his massive pole. I didn't quite get that.
And he knocked you unconscious.
He just whacked me with the pole, and then I come out the changing rooms.
Ready for the event. Oh, well, that's titled the video. Anyway.
Yeah. Where to go from there? My favourite type of speed workout is the pyramid workout, actually. I quite like that one. Start off slow, get incrementally quicker, get to whichever the peak pace is and back down again. It's not a bad workout because you can sort of manage it in a sensible way. You can step it up and step it down however you want. So I quite like that one.
That's quite a good one. I think I've done that up to like 1200s and back down again. Down to 400s. Brutal session.
Yeah, they can be absolutely brutal. Oh, thank you, Susie, by the way. You're doing what they should all be doing and subbing to the other people in the chat, just because it's nice to build that community a little bit further and meet some people that have got similar content. And even if you haven't got a YouTube channel, it's good to subscribe to other people because you might find a storyline that you can follow for the future. And speaking of that...
I will, for any YouTuber that's in here, link it down in the description. So if anyone wants to subscribe, their link will be down in the description. That's a job for you, Ben. Later.
Just collect everyone's YouTube channels.
Yeah, send a DM to Ben on Instagram or somewhere like that, and he will collate all the names of your channels and put them down below.
It's good job I'm nocturnal. I'll be up all night doing it.
Thanks for that, Ben.
Tomorrow. It's fine tomorrow.
Top running goal for 2021.
To run the London Marathon if I get in. That would be my top goal.
All right.
There's no races, so that's it.
Yeah, but what if you don't get in? What if you don't get in?
If I don't get in, I'll try club entry or I'll try charity. But if I don't get in, then who knows what's happening next year? Obviously, we've got the vaccine come through, so races might start.
You'll be high on the list for that, mate, at your age.
I'll probably get I'll be all right. Yeah.
Ben, your goal, apart from learning how to use Instagram.
Yeah, making sure I don't mute the stream at key points.
What about stop stalking other YouTubers?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's to stop leeching off people. Fun?
I feel a bit dry.
Yeah.
In my blood.
Shut up.
My YouTube blood, that's enough blood.
Yeah. Anyway, right, moving on. What I was going to say, I guess to do an actual proper official ultra would be good. So our run at the end of this month, Tanner's going to be a good test for that. I don't know about distance though. I'd have to see, but there's plenty of options, isn't there? Really, when it comes to an ultra, it's not like a marathon. That's a set distance. Anything over a marathon, I guess, would be considered an ultra. So, yeah, just to do a proper organised event, I guess.
Yeah, it's a different kind of event to do, actually. I found it a lot more relaxing, a lot more enjoyable than marathons, just because I think the people that are involved in doing it, there are the guys and girls at the front who want to win, but everybody else is just doing it for kind of that feel good, getting out there, exploring the trails and having a good time. And I think 50k would have been ideal for me, but obviously, yeah, with different things on the horizon, we'll see how the 50k goes, and you might want to dip your toe into the water for something a little bit further beyond that.
If I can walk afterwards.
Down to the type of person you are, whether you're a time chaser or you're an ultra runner. Because I just couldn't do it. I couldn't hold myself back enough pace-wise, or I just don't have any interest. I spoke to one of the club members and I was like, well, why do you do the ultras? And he goes, well, I'm an ultra runner. He goes, why do you do 5Ks and try and run a PB? I said, because I'm a time chaser. So I think it's each to your own, isn't it? I couldn't see myself ever doing an ultra. Because I'd think to myself, why would I stop for a long period of time at the breaks? Because I'm losing time.
Oh, it would eat away at you.
Well, I'd be literally scoffing and think I've got to go because I'm wasting time sitting here.
But the people at the front aren't doing that though.
Are they not?
They ain't stopping, mate.
No. It's similar to like a marathon. There's people who can just like grab a cup of water halfway through, limited nutrition, and off they go. The guys and girls winning the ultras, especially the smaller kind of ultras, are doing it in 4.5 hours, and they're not carrying the same amount, and they're not having to hydrate and do all the things that I was doing. I mean, I was stopping a little bit. I didn't stop all the aid stations. I was dancing and singing and messing about. But that's partly because I knew that my fitness was at a level where I couldn't necessarily maintain a pace throughout. But you might find that actually you could do an ultra in a sensible time where you felt like you were achieving a goal at the same time and not spending 9 hours out on the trails.
Maybe when I'm older.
I don't think they let you out the care home, mate, to do an ultra.
I see that Chris in the chat is doing his first ultra next year. Nice one.
Well on, Chris.
It's Chris, isn't it? Yeah, that's Chris.
I said backyard one. He needs to do that. Same route that he did his marathon, but an ultra. That'd be soul destroying.
Oh, it says here from Matt, Chris, the Rotterdam Marathon is a week after London, in case you don't get in.
Ooh.
Get a little holiday as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not London though, is it?
It's not London. No, it isn't London. Your sights are set on London. Okay, next question here. Got a few more. Running for our best life, who I know has just or is about to heading into work. Sorry for not getting to your question sooner. I apologise. When did you start? So what motivated you to start running? We spoke about when we start running, but what motivated you? Or maybe what motivated you to kind of start back up with running in your instance, Chris, because you kind of had a little hiatus for a while.
I think mine was kind of midlife crisis and probably regrets, because I gave up when I was 17. When I was 12 to 14, I was Southern Counties cross country champion. So and I was running 159 for 800, 407 100, and just gave up. And so I think I was just watching telly, the European Championship, and thought, it's not too late. I can still do this. But it's so much harder coming back. My first run, I went out like a spring chicken. I think I was done after about a quarter of a mile. Because mentally, I'm still that young chap that could run quick times. It took probably about a year to actually mentally reset my brain, so I wasn't worried about being beaten by a 13-year-old on the track, or I wasn't able to run 6-minute miling when I was 16. I ran 10 miles in 59 minutes. And it's I can't do that now. So it's about resetting your mind. So mine's probably about midlife crisis, and the England goal is something I thought that maybe should have happened when I was younger, but it's not going to happen for the next 4 years because I wouldn't be competitive until I'm 50. But my 10k time trial, I'm running with Bob, who's 67, and his PB for 5k is, I think, about 17:30. He was the quickest in the world.
And that's what you want to be, isn't it?
He's 67, and he's pacing me on Saturday to my 10k to run 37-minute odd 10k.
Mad.
it just puts him in perspective. He's elite. He's top, top of his game. I can't compare myself to someone like him, but I just try my hardest, put in the effort, stay injury free, and worst case scenario, I'll just have a YouTube channel, won't I?
But I think also
talk to us every Wednesday night.
Yeah, we'll come and visit you in the care home. But like you say, you've got a runner there who's of a certain age, and it shows there is actually longevity in the sport if you look after yourself, and there is possible opportunities for you in the future in different age categories. And some people are gifted with being injury free and are able to just keep going, and other people have to work at it. But there's opportunities out there if you just stick with it and you're sensible and kind to your body, I think, as well.
Very true.
Just a quick one. What motivated me? I'll tell you why I did it, because I was at home one day and I just thought to myself, I'd like to do a challenge. I'm thinking about what kind of my life goals are, and people spoke about, you want to do a marathon, you end up being one of the few % in the world who've achieved it. And I set about that. That was it. And a few weeks after I just started running, I decided if I book it, I've got some accountability, kind of a bit of skin in the game, and I've paid my money. So I need to now sort of step up and try and deliver on that goal. And sure enough, I did. But that was kind of why I did it. No other reason than just wanting to achieve a little bit of a personal goal for me.
Well done, mate.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Run for Grace. If money or time was not a factor, which race would you do and why?
Oh God, here we go.
I go, to Anthony, it's going to be London.
Oh!
It doesn't come down to money, time. It is London's a dream for me. My dad's run it before, and and as I said before, it's that Sunday, it's that whole experience. I think this London is probably one of the best marathons in the world, other than from maybe the likes of New York and Boston. Maybe. But I don't know. Yes, it's easier for me to get to, but that doesn't come into it. It's just. I've watched, I used to watch it when I was probably in my teenage years, on that Sunday, and I still watch it now.
On the black and white set?
No, we had to watch it on the neighbours because we didn't have a telly then.
During the Blitz?
Yeah.
What about you, Ben? What do you
I don't know. You've got the Ultra, haven't you? The Mont Blanc one. That's huge. That'd be quite an achievement. Plus, I reckon the views would be pretty decent up there.
But would you crowd out that long? Because you'd probably be out more than a few hours.
Shut up. She'll come in here.
I think, like you say, for me, I do like the idea of getting out to different country. So whilst I could say a couple of different ultras, the UTMB ones, I always wanted to run the Hard Rock 100 because I just like that spectacle of it. But actually, bottom line is, if I could run somewhere different around the world and get to experience that country at the same time, I think if money was no object, you'd go out there a few weeks in advance, do a little bit of training, you'd experience the culture, you'd do the race, stay on a bit afterwards, and I think that would be, for me, like a 6-week sort of little travel type thing. I know people do it, and that's a nice luxury to have and be able to afford. Obviously, current times are going to restrict that probably for, I imagine, a good while, but that's what I would do.
Sounds awesome to me, mate.
Yeah.
And London as well. I'll go with Chris on London. Be huge, wouldn't it? Just getting into the thing is an achievement, isn't it? At the end of the day.
So, Chris, would you go for the majors then? Let's say you got London. Would you go and hit the others?
I would tell you that after I've run it. I think the training's going to be horrendous running for London. When you're running for a time, I think the training's going to be horrendous. It's going to be tough on the body. I might do one and never do one again. Because you see people after these marathons, they look ill, don't they?
Yeah.
It's
That's
draining.
me after every run.
Yeah. Well, I just go back to the care home. If it was a rule.
Wheel him in the front door.
Then they buy a Sunday lunch, they liquidise it, and it's job done. It's fine.
I see Susie's in for New York, so that's awesome.
Whoa.
That's going to be great. Good luck,
Nice.
Susie.
Yeah, cool, yeah.
Look,
she says
UTMB is epic, very hard to get in. Thanks to that Rato. Yeah, that'd be the dream. It's never going to happen, but
I'm told that London's about 1 in a trillion chance of actually getting in.
Really?
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's why you need to work on the YouTube thing, because if you become big enough, you get a free entry.
And you can hand out hats.
I could do that, couldn't I?
Yeah. Just call up the spot. Call up the organisers. Say, look, I've got a hook up here. I'll sort you out with a hat. Give me a spot.
And I could have you, Ben, there as my little hat boy, and you could do hand out.
It's like a caddy.
Yeah.
With the case on my back and just handing them out.
Why don't you just run as a giant hat? The first person to complete the marathon under 3 hours with a giant hat with your branding on it. Oh dear, that'd be great. That'd be fantastic. Another question coming from Chris. I personally don't know how to answer this. Are you a heel, midfoot, or forefoot striker? Does it matter?
I think it does. I'm a mid. I used to be a heel striker. If you're a heel striker, you're overstriding. So basically, you get more likely to have Achilles injuries, more injuries, because you want your foot to be landing obviously below your hips. You don't want to have your foot in front of your hips, because so I'm a midfoot striker. I think someone like, if you watch Ben Parks, he's a 4-foot striker. It's the runners that look really good are the 4-foot strikers.
That's me then. I'm 4 foot. Yeah, sure. 4 foot.
Yeah. If you're heel striking, it means you're overstriding, and you're more likely to pick up injuries. So you probably want to cut down your stride pattern. But it's actually, an old dog, new tricks and all that. It is difficult, but you have to change your stride pattern.
Yeah, I really don't know. I don't really know what I am. I guess I could look at the tread wear on my shoes and ascertain that.
While you're running past with your camera, and then you can watch it. Because I always thought I was a heel striker, but when I watch it in slow motion, the foot just about to hit the ground, and then it goes flat.
Oh.
The more slow mos, and then you watch your foot strike.
That's why I keep doing it. I just like to watch my strike.
Right. Okay. So I need to incorporate more slow mos into my videos, so they take even longer for people to watch. They'll appreciate that.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a bit of slow mo.
Over 8 minutes, and you can then chuck in a couple more adverts.
Sell a few more caps.
Okay, so yeah, we've got one professional amongst us who actually knows how they strike, and 2 people who have decided probably 4 foot, but no idea really. Awesome.
You can tell who's the serious person at running, like who actually is like well on it, and we're just idiots.
Just looking at the chat, John was a heel striker as well, lower cadence, ended up getting an Achilles injury, like Chris said. Now, midfoot striker, average cadence 180 to 185. I run things. She's a heel striker. Do you know what? Yeah, I don't know. I guess.
Increase your cadence, and then you won't heel strike.
Increase your cadence, and you won't heel strike, Susie.
Because you want to be around about 170 to 190. Kind of cadence in a minute. So if you're overstriding, obviously your legs ain't turning over quick enough. So just cut your cadence down. Consciously try not to overstride. It wears out your shoes as well. You better see on your shoes what you are. Just look at your heels. If your heels are all worn out, then you're probably a heel striker. But just video, stick your iPhone down the ground, run past it, and you're about to tell what you are.
Yeah, but I run past it, so it's got that perfect doof.
Yeah.
So I'd never know.
Yeah, we all do that though. When you put the camera, I think I've got to have a really good style here. As soon as I'm running normally, all over the place. I'm like Paul Craig.
Right. Next question.
Next question. I'm having a quick look through to see if there are any more questions. I don't know if there are. I think there was one earlier. Let me just do a little scroll and check. Talk amongst yourselves, people. Talk amongst yourselves.
I don't think I missed any. I was trying to keep up with chat.
Oh, yeah. Do you ever take any time off running, like 1 or 2 weeks? And I actually answered this recently. So for me, every time I do a goal race, marathon, whatever it may be, I normally take 1 to 2 weeks off completely. I go for a walk, keep active, keep moving, but I don't officially run for about 14 days or so.
I don't. I run 5-6 days a week, and to be honest, I haven't taken any time off. I just continue running. Obviously, unless you're injured, or if you're on holiday, then just reduce the volume. But I need to run every day just for my kind of mental health and just kind of well-being, really. So it just puts me in a better mood. As long as I'm fed, watered, have enough sleep, and go for a run, I'm fantastic. Take away and be one of those things.
It all falls apart.
It just keeps everything kind of together. It comes down to your own mental health. You're going out. Even it's been difficult not having the company to run with. It's amazing. I met up with a guy that I train with, and he's in his 70s, and I met him out on a run, and we went for a run together, socially distancing and stuff. But he said he didn't realise how much he actually missed it, and the times were quicker. How much quicker do you run when you're running with someone? You can be running 10, 20 seconds a mile, without even realising, just because you're chatting and you're not concentrating on, you're relaxed, you're not concentrating, and you will run quicker. That's why you run quicker in races than you do when you're, just going out on your training run and looking at your watch all the time. You're stressing yourself out, aren't you?
Yep, I agree with that. I enjoy it more when I'm not looking at the watch.
There was a question. Was it when you started? What piece of advice would you give? We've done that one.
Yeah, Chris's wasn't it right at the start?
I don't think necessarily a kind of advice. We spoke about YouTube channels, but in terms of my running advice is, I think
not running like YouTube. What your one bit of advice you give someone when they start?
I think the main thing is just don't take it too seriously, and just record, put it up, and don't judge yourself before it's even gone live.
You guys would be that you overcritical of your own work.
Yeah, I used to spend a long time editing, and now I spend less time editing and more time just being comfortable with when I've shot it. It's going to go up as it is. I might obviously crop the odd word or two out, but I'm not sitting there painstakingly cropping out small sections and doing like multi-angle type things to try and correct something I said.
What I mean is, like, sometimes when I do like the flyby shots and you put music and you're chatting, that I'm self-critical. I think, that doesn't look really good, whatever. Or if I'm doing my weekly kind of training vlog, I thought to myself, I was going to drop that because I thought it was pretty boring. But then other people are like, I like that. It's really good. And I get information. You get your feelings that, if you've had a bad run, you see. If you're happy, you're happy. Maybe that's just me. I'm just overcritical. And, if I have a bad run, some people, the likes of Ben Parks, he's positive all the time. But I think it's better to kind of get your feelings across. So if you've had a crap run or you feel bad or you've got niggles, you just tell people, because that's running. That's realistic. You don't go out for a run every day and then it's happy dandy. It's tough. So it's good to kind of let everyone know that. So my advice would be, don't sweat over the numbers and the subscribers. They will come. Otherwise, it just takes away your life. You're just refreshing your phone all the time, waiting for another subscriber. And then they unsubscribe, and you're like,
that's just your family.
Oh no, the missus. Oh.
But that's always the way when you get the number, whether it be 1,000 and 2,000. You always get to that. Never shout out that you hit that number unless you're 2 or 3 over. Because people subscribe. And that always happens. Always.
The amount of fake accounts I've had to make to get me back up over that number.
Yeah, I think I called on you, Ben, didn't I?
Yeah, don't worry. You can always count on me, mate.
But the other thing as well is I've realised that when I watch videos now, instead of wanting to replicate it, I'm just sort of inspired by it. Before I did my ultra, he's not in the chat now, but running with Mark did a really amazing job of capturing his ultra experience. And I said to him privately, I really want to film my ultra in your way. But I kind of just knew I couldn't do it like that because that's him and that's his style. So I just decided when I was filming during that day, film it as me, but take some inspiration from the way he was documenting the way kind of his feelings and emotions changed throughout the day. And he just said to me privately before I did it, film everything. Film as much as you can and then filter out if you need to, although I kept a lot of it in. I would just be inspired by the people, but don't try to put pressure on yourself to be them because you aren't. Everybody's unique.
Yeah.
Oh, Lee, evening, mate.
Evening.
Yeah. What was the question again? It was how we started.
No. Advice.
Advice for yeah, okay. My advice would be to find 2 other running YouTubers and just latch onto them.
And text them time and whatever you do, don't give Ben your number.
4 o'clock in the morning. Get up.
I had to turn off the notifications. It was that bad.
Shut up! You didn't. You love it. Anyway, no. Honest advice I would probably say is do it for yourself. Don't do it for others, and that's it. It's short and sweet.
How do you feel that your son gets more views than you do?
I'm not surprised by it in the slightest. He looks good in slow-mo. He's got the good strikes. He's got the foot strike going. Heel striker all day.
I think that's another thing as well about YouTube. You can sit at home and try to think up the best way to create a video if you're looking for views. Yeah. But inevitably, the one that gets the most views is the one that you least expect it. The one that you didn't plan, the one that you probably threw together in a few minutes because you felt you had to. And that's a video that gets the views. So do not, like you say, sweat about the numbers and feel like you spending an extra 2 hours editing a simple video is going to make too much difference.
Don't edit out the ums and ahs.
Yeah. The puddle doshins.
Hey, it takes too long. No, you've got to keep the puddle doshin in. That should just be a word. But that is actually a word.
Yeah, you said it was, yeah.
I know, I looked it up.
I'm waiting for the hat that's got it on the front. Puddle doshin.
When
Gore-Tex.
Get me to 10,000 subscribers and I will do a puddle doshin.
Coat. It needs one, mate. We need them. Ponchos. Wellies, did you say? Yeah. Go run wellies.
Get some Crocs.
Might work.
Right, I think we have addressed all the questions that we've had in, which is awesome. And the chat is full of just back and forth amongst the gang, which is really, really great to see because that's what we want to do. We want to build a community. And that's the other thing. Above all, this community is amazing. And we're really fortunate to have so many people that are so lovely. So don't feel like putting a video up, you're going to get a load of abuse. For a start, you can just delete those comments and block them. But secondly, people are really really supportive of others, especially when you start on your journey, because we all know what that's like to start off on those first few videos. Yeah. So don't feel worried.
You're going to get that one comment of that single lady.
Yeah.
Where does it come from? Every video I get.
Timestamp.
I think there was one guy in America, he put, "That's nice." I just delete it. Yeah, but I think the running community is great. So that was one of my kind of drives when I started, is that I think we should all do is that when we get to a certain number, we should support the people that are up and coming, whether it be a Pay It Forward, whether it be Why Run, just support the community, because you just kind of grow together. Mm-hmm. That's the way it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've had, like I say, we've all been on that journey, and no one is going to judge you for putting up a video on a phone that you may have felt like it didn't look very good. Honestly, go back and watch my early videos. They're on a phone which has got a broken, misty camera. Genuinely, some of the worst videos you're going to see on the internet.
I could play it now.
It's all right. No, it's all right. It's all right, actually. You don't have to do that. And also, portrait mode. So you've got the little black box down the side.
Beautiful
classic
stuff.
Classic work from the amateur. But also, don't take yourself too seriously.
Doesn't matter.
You got one life. Live it the way you want to live it. Don't be judged by others, and don't worry about their opinion, because you can never change it. I've had a question in from Graham. Now, this is somebody who has really clearly been following my content for a little while now. When are you going to review another pair of slippers? This is surely in reference to my Nike Pegasus 37 versus my slippers video. If you've not seen it, check it out. It was done for a laugh and not serious at all. Although I think some people missed the sarcasm in it and thought I was genuinely trying to compare the two. But that aside, I'm hoping that at Christmas I might be gifted a pair of slippers.
Ooh.
At that point, a video is going to go live. Boom. Compare the slippers.
Film it on your phone as well. Vertical.
Sorry?
Video do.
How did it do? I tried to put it in front of Nike by hashtagging them and @ing them. I don't believe anybody from their HQ saw it, although I'm hopeful that they will in the future send me a pair of shoes that I do enjoy running in. Because
videos, you don't know which one's going to do well. Did Susie upload a video of her cleaning her running shoes, and it had something like 80,000 views, something stupid like that?
Yes, Susie's got a video. I think is it over 100,000? Susie, you're in the chat now, of her cleaning her running shoes. I remember I spoke to her before about it, and it's just the most hilarious thing that this has just gone phenomenally viral. And when you type into Google, cleaning my shoes, I'm pretty sure her video is one of the top ranking ones, which is why she also gets a lot of clicks. And that's really helping her now. She's hit over the milestone mark of 1,000 subscribers. So hopefully she can cash in and retire a multimillionaire.
Excellent.
Living a dream.
We can all hope. Anyway, is that it, gents?
That's it. I think that's it. I think we're going to conclude. But what I'm really pleased to see is that there are people that want to get involved in further live streams. So, Ben, I'm sure you can.
Oh, we can arrange something. Yeah, we'll definitely do it again. This has gone well.
Yeah. Do it without Ben, though.
Yeah, we could do that. I could host. Just put other people on.
Yeah. And yes, Graham, my slippers will be carbon plated, and I will talk about them as they'll be given to me for free. And so I will make sure I put at the start of the video, this video is a sponsored video.
Excellent stuff. All right. So,
well, thanks everybody.
Thank you all for coming out. Really appreciate it. Dan and Chris, thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure as always.
What the time is? I haven't got any computers in front of me.
9:15, sir.
Wow, so an hour and a quarter.
Yeah, the nurses will be in a minute to put you to bed. Right.
Well, it's been fantastic. Thank you so much, one and all.
Yeah, so please subscribe to Ben's channel, Dan's channel, and if you want to subscribe to mine, you can.
And please subscribe to everybody in the chat as well. Do yourselves a favour and build a community amongst yourselves.
Go back. Ben's going to put links to everyone's channels.
No, I'm not. I'll do something. I'll send something out nice on Twitter so everyone can follow each other.
Yeah. No, it's just the easy way of doing it. So we can do this again sometime?
Of course. Yeah, we'll set a date.
Yeah, a few years' time. Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
You might not be around then. Anyway.
On that note.
I'm joking. Right. Anyway, thanks everyone.
Okay.
We'll see you all soon. Stay tuned for some future streams.
Quick, Chris, get your hat in, Chris. Get your hat in, Chris.
Cut them off. Shush. Right. Bye, everyone.
The video is I tried out for gladiators.
Right, you're gone. Bye.